What's up? What is up, everybody? It's Big Chads. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out here with me. This is part of a brand new series. This is going to be the Trading Quotes series. This is my third book, Trading Quotes. I published it. When did I publish this? I published this back at the end of 2022. Wow, time's flying. I have a new book coming out soon. I'm, of course, Big Chads from Twitter. That's where you probably know me from, or Chads Trading on YouTube. And I published 3 books. I have a 4th book coming out this year, which is going to be Trading Journal. It's Trading Wisdom Part 2, the Trading Journal. And so I want to make my last book free. So I'm going to start a new playlist here. My first book, My Battles with Cancer, the entire playlist is here. You can see the whole book. It's also available. All of these are available on Amazon, by the way. Also Audible. I've recorded them all, so you can hear me like an audiobook if you'd like. And Trading Wisdom, I have the first 18 chapters of the book. So there's a free version of that. And I'm probably going to do the entire book here, Trading Quotes book, for free. As you can see, I did a live stream today. I do that 3 days a week, a quick market update. And of course, I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live, where I do a twice a week full market report. I've been doing that for over 6 years. I am professionally trained in technical analysis, Japanese candlestick theory, and classical charting. And a lot of my work comes from that experience of reading the textbooks and doing the academic study, and then also trading and understanding the emotional experience of it. So let's get right into it. It's Trading Quotes. So Trading Quotes, a daily dose of trading wisdom. And we're going to do today about the author and the introduction, and then I'll start the chapters in the next video. So about the author. Welcome and thank you for your support. My name is Chads, and I'm a trader, educator, and author. I am most well known as Big Chads on Twitter. I can also be found on YouTube as Chads Trading. In addition, I'm proud to be a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live, the best-in-class educational platform for cryptocurrency trading. This is my 3rd published book. My first was a memoir titled My Battles with Cancer, a candid patient and caregiver's memoir. Next, I published Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. And that book has done really well, so I want to thank all of you for your support. I also have several other projects in the works, a trading journal, which I'm about to publish. I'm about to publish the Trading Journal. I'm excited. A poker and trading book, a sci-fi novel, a dream journal, and a life wisdom book. When I'm not writing, trading, or teaching, I enjoy the outdoors and spending time with my friends and my family. Introduction. So this is actually really cool. If you haven't seen it on my Twitter channel, Cointelegraph did like a movie of this, like Ched's Crypto Story. It's a really cool video, and you should check it out. In any case, introduction. Pure insanity. Every time I hit that refresh button, my account balance went up another $10,000. Half of my holdings were up 50% on the session, and the rest, they were up 100%. Those days, no matter what I played, I could not lose. Who knew that trading could be this easy? It was early 2014, smack dab in the middle of the marijuana penny stock madness. When I was growing up, I always dreamed of becoming a stock trader, and I just loved the idea of buying low and selling high. Playing the market seemed like a great way for me to become rich enough to buy my own island. Wouldn't that be cool? However, by the time I hit college, my career was headed down a much different path. Rather than studying finance or even business, I leaned into something that fit my personality much better. I studied psychology. After college, it was time for me to get some real experience in the real world. My easygoing personality made me a good fit for the sales industry. And for those hard-fought years, they taught me a lot about operations, marketing, sales, and management, and working with people for sure. Eventually, I was able to work my way all the way to upper management. And Even all that aside, even with all that passion and the proficiency in the sales industry, I'd still kept my eye on stocks and on trading, and my desire to become a trader never went away. In about the middle of my career is when I bought my first stock trading book. The cover was mesmerizing, big green dollar signs everywhere, and arrows pointing up. However, once I started reading, I realized I had no idea what I was looking at. I didn't know anything. Without a background in finance or economics, I had no frame of reference, nothing to digest the material with. And I realized I would have to figure things out for myself rather than from a textbook. There was going to be no shortcut for me to become a professional stock trader. Trading continued to be my favorite hobby for a while, and then I discovered poker. The action, the complexity, and the human elements of the game were incredibly compelling to me. They were mesmerizing. And I dove in headfirst and I started practicing every day. It was not long until I was completely consumed with poker. And so, as my technique continued to improve, I figured now is the right time for me to read a textbook and to see what the professionals have to say. When I had trouble reading that stock market book, it's because I had no experience. But now, reading poker books, that came naturally to me. As the stress from my day job continued to eat away at me day after day, I leaned on to my hobbies as a way to unwind. And then at some point, a friend of mine introduced me to the penny stock market, and I was hooked. This was shortly after, in the United States, several individual states had begun to legalize marijuana. And at that time, it was really easy to fall in love with that market with all that volatility. There were days and weeks during this pot stock mania where you just could not miss. And everyone was a genius. No matter what I played, that trade ended up making me a lot of money. One of my biggest winners even ran from a few $1,000s up to nearly $250,000. However, that didn't last forever. That action could not last because by the summer, action had slowed down significantly. No longer was this an environment where you could not miss. No longer was everyone a genius. As that weed stock craze started to die down, I realized that I had to ramp up my efforts to become a proficient technical trader. This is when I started to get serious about using Japanese candlestick theory. I found it compelling that the psychology of the market could be represented by a candle body and a wick. And that was really interesting to me. And I was now firmly on the path to learning technical analysis. But still, I was still trading on information outside of the chart. I was still a fundamental trader. I was trading on feelings and narratives. And narratives were everything to me. I believed that I was on the forefront of a marijuana revolution, and that guided all my actions. It was going to take over, and I was riding the wave. However, I didn't realize at that time that these positive news stories I was seeing, they were generated by penny stock company debt holders. These toxic lenders, they needed an excited retail environment so they could sell their shares. And it turned out I was the sucker in a well-orchestrated hustle. Unfortunately, that's a lesson that I did not learn until my trading account suffered serious and devastating consequences. As the prices continued to drop, what I did was I added to my trades. Instead of selling, I rode those failed positions all the way down and then capitulated for a major loss. Worst of all, I just sat by and watched as one of my largest holdings got delisted. And overnight, my position literally went to zero. That didn't feel too good. I was desperate to quit my day job, and these setbacks, they were not helping. They were getting in the way. And after coming to terms with what had happened a few times, finally a fire was lit inside of me. And I said, I will never put myself in a position where I'm that helpless again. To survive, I would have to become a well-rounded and a well-balanced trader. The skills I'd learned from psychology and poker, so far they were just not enough. I needed more. I was going to have to get better at technical analysis. Every time I learned a new trading skill, a new trading technique, I would share that wisdom with my followers in social media. To master any subject, you have to be able to teach it to someone else. And through hard work, I started to gain the reputation as a chart master and a newbie helper. And I really enjoyed that, and I leaned into it. And to make my job as an educator easier, I launched a blog with learning information and stories about trading. And so now when my followers, when people were asking me questions, I could point them to my learning blog to save time and to give them a good resource. So that was a great path for me to embark on. And even though I was becoming quite proficient as an educator, the market, once again, it got the better of me. I was still human. I was still emotionally trading. And I took another massive loss after buying the rumor one too many times. Not only did I lose my funds, I lost my confidence, what was left of it. And once again, it was time for me to step away from trading. After a few months away, I cleared my head and, I was ready to give it another shot. I was not going to give up. The biggest lesson I learned from that experience was not to risk my money on these rumors, on this information outside of the chart. I was committed to trading based on the price action alone. I said I need to sharpen my focus on technical analysis. And so I chose to read Steve Nissen's Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques book, the one with the yellow cover. It's a wonderful book. I'm telling you, it did not take me long to consume that entire book. I loved it. This adjustment in strategy, this you maybe would say subtle adjustment, but important adjustment in strategy, showed instant results. After many years, many difficult years of learning how to trade, I was finally able to quit my stressful day job. And I was now beginning to live out my childhood dream of trading full time. The following year, I started trading cryptocurrencies for the first time. There was a funny encounter. A first time I ever heard about crypto or ever seen it was on my friend's phone. And for some reason, when he showed me his phone, I took a look at it. I thought in my mind, why is he collecting precious metals? When I saw Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, my brain didn't know what to process, how to process what I was looking at. And then soon after, I became curious about these digital assets, and I wanted to know how actively traded are they? Is there a market for these? Would technical analysis work on something like Bitcoin or Litecoin? To find out, I tested that theory, and I started to study their price action. And as I did that, I sent out charts to my audience. And I discovered not only that technical analysis was incredibly effective on these markets, but the charts were an instant hit. My followers were much more enthusiastic about crypto than I had ever anticipated. As a result, my social media account became crypto-focused, and it began to grow rapidly. However, not long after that, my life was thrown upside down, and I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. I wrote about this experience in my first book, My Battles with Cancer, a patient and caregiver's candid memoir. So after this diagnosis, in order to avoid having to think about my cancer, my battle, all the time, I leaned even harder, even further into my new identity as a cryptocurrency trader. Instead of focusing on the fact that I was sick and that I was vulnerable, I wanted to focus on being a top-notch technical analyst. A few weeks after starting that treatment, I became sick with a flu-like virus on top of having cancer. And since my immune system was already weak from chemotherapy. It had zapped me, you know. The doctors, they admitted me to the hospital, and I was at an incredibly desperate point emotionally. To take my mind off of the misery, I needed to focus on a new project. And that's when I started to write the Beginner's Guide to Cryptocurrency Trading for my learning blog. I had been getting more and more repeat questions from my followers during this time. And, you know, it made sense. It made sense for me to come up with a solution. And with this new guide, I could easily point them in the right direction. Having that project to work on, that Beginner's Guide to Crypto, helped to keep me sane during just a terrible time in my life. The chemotherapy regimen and the radiation treatments went well. And now I was firmly on the path to recovery and incredibly grateful and thankful to be alive. Treatments now behind me, I was ready to focus on my career, to get to even more in my career, and to further improve my technical analysis skills. I decided to study another trading textbook, and I opened up the Shawbacker Classical Charting book, and I just couldn't put it down. A few months after that, I was invited to become a founding analyst at Bitcoin Live, which is a wonderful team, and it's been 7 years. I'm incredibly proud of that. I committed to improving my technique even further. So I decided to pursue CMT Level 1 certification. By passing that course, I learned what I needed to know about professional technical analysis. And using that knowledge, the following year, I published Trading Wisdom. That book was an unbelievable success, and thank you all. And now I'm excited to present my newest book, Trading Quotes. Thank you for all your support, and I hope that you enjoy a daily dose of trading wisdom. Cheds. And now here I am. I've got my new book coming out 2.5 years later. I'm ready to put out my new book, The Trading Journal. This will be a really fun video series. Here's the table of contents, and we'll go through, and I'm going to read probably a couple weeks at a time. I'm going to talk about the quotes, and we'll go from there. So this is, of course, on my YouTube channel, Ched's Trading. This is a brand new playlist for Trading Quotes, my third book. The whole book, I'll put it up here for free. You can get it on Amazon, of course. Same with Battles with Cancer and Trading Wisdom, or on Audible. I've recorded all three books. You know me on Twitter, @BigCheds. Check out Bitcoin Live, best team in the world that studies crypto. And that is that. It's been a lot of fun. So, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and upload this. And thank you for sticking by. Thank you for hanging out. And I hope you enjoy this new series. All right? Big Cheds out. Peace out. Peace out.